Hey mom friends, it's time for another unboxing. We got the garter kit here. Has pretty much all the same items as the DIY mum. However, you'll see that there's a garter band and the ribbon is just a little bit shorter. So let's get this started. We're going to start with our biggest ribbon first, which is 2.5 inches. Go ahead and lay those out so that way you can get that started stapling onto that backer. Again, remember, you can do the ribbons any way you want. I like layers, different colors, but I try to keep the primary colors on the outside or the areas that will be most visible. So that's a good thing to take into account, but you do you. The next ribbon you're going to use is the 2-inch, the number 16. I like putting them in groups and stapling them because it makes it a little bit easier organizing them onto the backer and helping me fill in those spaces that I feel like are maybe missing something or just need a little bit more structure. Then we do the same thing with the number 9 ribbon. It's about 1.5 inches, and you will staple those onto the backer. That's going to be the last row of ribbon that you put on your ribbon backer. Now let's make these name ribbons. The wonderful thing about these stickers are they're very forgiving. If you mess up, you can pull it up and try again. They are very tacky, so it helps them stay to that ribbon. The only thing you want to make sure you do after you get them set just like you want them, I would go over them with a rolling pin or put a lot of pressure on them. It's the same thing with these homecoming loops. These are a little bit shorter than the homecoming mum. The homecoming mum is 6 inches. For garter, they're 5 inches, just because it's a shorter distance that you're going to be able to spread those out on. So instead of 1 inch from the top, you're going to do probably about 3/4 of an inch from the top. And you're going to press those in and seal them and roll them and make sure that they're nice and stuck down. Then you'll go back in and make your loops afterwards. And you can see just by laying them out right here that they are more compact than what you saw on the mum DIY. Now, again, I start at the bottom. It just helps me make sure that I have the correct placement and I don't run out of ribbon. On this one, I liked doing it on both sides. It helps kind of give a little bit more structure to that ribbon. Go ahead and put it where you want. Some people like middle, some people like the sides. You do you. Get those imprint ribbons and go ahead and staple those down in your trusty little braid. Now it's time to make the crown. We're doing those loops just like we did on the mums. You just fold them over and staple them. And then I like doing points, but again, you can make these into another row of loops. You do you. Whatever you like, go for it. I folded this backer just to help me have those straight lines of where to place the ribbons at. And then I cut in some little cross stitches so that way I can stick my stapler straight through that hole. It makes it a little bit easier whenever your loops are sometimes a little fatter to go in through the inside to staple those in. You want to place them as evenly as you can throughout the backer, and then whenever you go back on top of it with your points, you'll just fill in that empty space. Now here we're putting on the garter band. I staple in the center first, and then I stretch as far as I can to each side and put a lot of staples in. The more staples, the better. And then you're going to attach your crown to the backer. Make sure you don't staple that garter in there because you want to make sure that that's loose. Whenever you put your flower in, again, lots of hot glue, lots of staples. Then you get to put in your trinkets. That's the funnest part. Now we're going to cover up all those staples because we do not want those rubbing on our guy's arms or on if you're wearing the garter around your leg. You definitely don't want staples pushing into those legs. So get that finishing backer on. Make sure your armband is free and clear of glue and staples. And then your DIY garter is ready to go. Have fun, y'all.